afternoon, everyone. Mary Sloan here with another episode of Inspirational Influencer News, People Making a Difference. And this afternoon, we are privileged to have with us Daniel Ruke, known more commonly by his friends as Ruke. And he is, his company's slogan is one that will remain with you. We're the company that brings your intellectual property to life. And that's what they have been doing for a long time. And, you know, he was sick of witnessing dream after dream die. So he decided that, hey, I should give all my intellectual property away at no charge. And he really didn't like the fact that a lot of people were really what he thought was money grubbing. So he started his agency 25 plus years ago, and his generosity passion was kicked off when he was introduced what he called this animal called entrepreneur, and he fell in love with helping those ambitious individuals. He was asked to jump into keynote space, and as a result has enjoyed teaching all over the world, sharing his marketing techniques on how to build a real business. But the more he went to these events, the more distressed he became as he regularly saw entrepreneurs being sold things they didn't even need and often couldn't afford by gurus who, in his words, knew how to take money but not make money, and who rarely, if ever, practiced what they preached.
Yep.
And that's when he decided, I'm going to be the one to give entrepreneurs the truth. And I'm going to really give it away, no strings attached. And this is really interesting because in 2020, when NFTs or non-fungible tokens were just becoming known as things in the world, he decided that he would put his agency formulas on the blockchain with these non-fungible tokens. And I'm hoping he'll tell us where they are now and how could we find out about them, because that's really something that I've never heard anybody else do. Today, the Blink team, which is Ruke's agency, and he personally represents both small businesses and multi-million-dollar companies, as well as hosting 150 plus events a year, empowering entrepreneurs to build businesses that honor their family, passions, and finances. It's important to Ruke that he supports all the beautiful colors of the rainbow and has created a safe place to work and do business that celebrates everyone's uniqueness. And for the record, his pronouns are he, him. So, Ruke, you have so many interesting things that we'd love to know more about. Tell us, first of all, maybe we'll start with the non-fungible tokens. Okay, where are these NFTs and what does that all mean?
This is a physical one of them. This is kind of cool. This is based on the greatest lesson I've learned. This one's called Do What You Love and Figure Out How to Make Crypto with It. And when you buy it, you get you get the digital asset, but you also get a physical asset. That's actually based on something my mom told me when I was in the third grade. So as an artist, I was been privately trained since the third grade, and I was in a third grade, and then I hit middle school. There we go. And I hit middle school, and they had these things called electives. And so since I was working on my career since the third grade, since I was 10, my mom saw I was stressed. She goes, "Why are you stressed?" I said, "Because I want to do these things I've just been exposed to, but I don't want to screw up my career." And she said, "You're worried about the wrong thing." She said, "Do what you love and figure out how to make money with it." And so I took them all. I did the music, I did the computers, I did all that stuff. I continued the art, obviously. And what I've learned is that I just follow my passions. I put my energy into it. And then when I create stuff, whether it be a piece of art, a brand, a business, whatever, I just figure out how do I make money with this. And that's what I love doing. And so for the NFTs, that's been a great experience. I have a lot of different things in the NFT space at this point. But the one specifically is I wanted to give the art as a collection that also is attached to the formulas of how you can also build a world dominating brand. And so it sits on the most popular site called OpenSea, OPENSEA. And if you search Ruke, RUKE, you'll see it. And those are super geeky. If you want to go right to my account, it's ruke.eth, ruke.eth. It's kind of a little geeky thing.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Who knew? I didn't have any idea that existed.
Yeah, well, us geeky people, we kind of figure things out.
Well,
super geeky. Yeah.
You're going to have to tell those of us who are not so geeky or grew up long before the geeky things were in at all. So the other thing I really want you to tell the audience is, what brands have you worked for? Because I know in looking around some of the things that you've done, I'm going, holy smokes, he's worked for them, he's worked for them. So why don't you tell us about some of those?
No, brands? And I appreciate that. I have a reality that I think, first of all, I live in my own reality, but I guess I get what you're asking. So I've worked with the intellectual property of, if I'm going to go down the list, Disney, Marvel, Chico's, Sony, these cool things. And I would tell you on one hand, it's not that hard. And I don't mean to be flippant for it, but it's not hard to be attached to some of the things. The projects that I led, those were awesome. That is a little bit harder. I have a lot of things that I do, with my title. I love the title artist. With that, I could have other things that people care about, I guess. I have 10 inventions, 1 patent. It's a process and method of bringing a video game to life. I told you, geeky. I'm a 28-time best-selling author. I'm all these crazy cool things. But it all comes down to, really, that matters to me, is the title artist. While I own several brands, I own a lot of different things. I love artists because as a creator, that's what I do. And so whether it is my music, whether it is my film, whether it is my animation, whether it is my graphic novels and illustrations, and the most powerful, and this is why I love marketing, of art, if you realize art evokes an emotion and gains a reaction. It's a phrase I coined many years ago. Evoke an emotion and gain a reaction. That's what I do. So that means I want you to feel something prescriptively, then do something. That is art. And that's what I love about marketing. And so when I build my world dominating brand, which is one of my registered trademarks, world dominating, it came out of a keynote where someone said, well, honestly, Mary, I was sitting there and I got pissed off. You read it, but I'll tell you the story. I was sitting there at this thing. I found this thing called an entrepreneur, went to this convention, someone invited me, and I watched these people talk from stage. I'm going, that's not how you do that. Wait a minute, that's not true. Holy crap, that's not going to work. And you obviously have never done this. And so I'm sitting and telling it to myself. Now, I'm an agency. Right? I'm a fully running agency, full service, doing this every single day, watching these people teach things that they've never done before. They've either got certified or they heard, or it's so super niche, they have no idea how the ripple effect is. It's kind of like branding people who do like fancy words, but nothing that's very, very real. I know you're real. I like that. It's like marketing people who tell you how to do a Facebook ad, but have never done a Facebook ad. It's weird to me. And so someone asked, hey, would you like to teach? I said, yes, I'd like to teach. Because what I watched was these people sell these people ideas that, hey, if you do this, it'll make all your dreams happen. I'm like, that's not true either. And so I absolutely, I did it. I created it as a world dominating, how to build a world dominating brand through marketing, the talk, and I gave away my secret formulas. And I printed them out on nice pieces of paper, handed out to the audience, and people were the majority of people were like, oh my gosh, miracle. The people who were, that know how to, and to this day still do this, know how to take money but not make money, were really pissed. They were verbally going, oh my gosh, and it was actually, oh my boop, and I bleeped there. He just gave that, oh my gosh, I charged $30,000 for that, and he gave that away for free. And that's a response sometimes it elicits. But here's the truth. There's a commonality that the big brands do that if we understood as small brands, we can actually be world dominating brands ourselves. And I'm not talking about the, you don't know what you don't know. No, I'm not talking about the busy and, have the end in mind and all the complex stuff. No, I'm talking about there's actions that you can do with your brand to engage an audience in a real authentic way. And then as you grow, pour more people on it so you can sustain it like the big brands. But there's very many universal truths about how to be authentic, how to be real, how to speak from the heart. And brands do this. And people do this. And so you can build a world dominating brand. And I like to say you can design your own world like I have. And you can live fully in it, dominating it. And you can build a brand that's revered all over the globe, like mine.
Well, you can, but you kind of have to have a plan, my guess is. And you kind of have to have the artistic ability to see it, because I think what makes it really hard for a lot of people that they can't see it before they believe it.
Yeah, I know. And you and I have a whole different relationship, which I so thoroughly enjoy. So I know that we're talking about this. Let me hit some stuff because I think you're hitting some good stuff there. Yes, but no. You need to have a passion and a drive. So people will tell you, do what you love and the money will follow. That's a lie. It won't happen. If you stumble upon success, fine, but it won't. The reason why you do what you love is because my worst day is better than the majority of people on the planet. You do what you love because you're unstoppable. I wake up every single morning about 3 to 4, 5. I don't use an alarm clock, right? So it just depends how late I sleep in the evening. Around 3 to 4, 5, around those times, right? And I'm in here. And this is a separate building from my house, so I can jam with the music and do this obnoxious stuff every day. I love it. But I'm in here on fire every single day, and I've been like this since ever. Now this brand, Blink, which is that owns World Dominating Brands, it's been around for 25 years. I'm just excited about today as I am starting the business because I do what I love. That's unstoppable drive. You can't stop me because you know what? I just play all day. And so when you're building these things, you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You don't know where you're going. But if you know how you fit in the world, and if you know how you are helping others, the effect, the results that you're actually helping them with, not what you do from, I do so mine would be, what do? I do websites. I do funnels. I mean, I do, but I don't. I do sales funnels. I do Facebook ads. People identify those tactics as what they do. I help CEOs build companies that honor their family, their passions, and their finances. And I do it through branding, marketing, and sales. That's what I do. And so when you understand the effect that you have on people, your whole conversation changes. I don't need a plan for that. I kind of have to have a vision. I'm with you on that one, yeah. But I have a drive. My job is to help your dreams come true. And I have the ability to make them come true. And I love doing that for you. That's what I do.
It's interesting because you kind of demonstrate, do what you love, because you've been doing what you love really all your life.
Have an incredible mom.
And as a result, you have actually made a business out of it, but you did what you loved. I think that what happens for a lot of people is that they don't dare to do what they love. They don't have that.
Somebody in
passion.
their world told them they couldn't do it.
Yeah, or couldn't do it that way, or had to do it this way, or whatever. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it messed with their mind. So they went, well, I guess I have to do it this way.
Right. But there's no plan, there's no vision.
What I love, right?
Yeah, and there's no plan, there's no vision. That beyond it, it's sucky people. It's also people who've stolen their money. Going, oh, I'll teach you to be a speaker and give me your money and it's your last savings. And I mean, these horrible people out there, vultures out there, right? That promise. And then people buy into it because people buy into it because at least it's a way forward. It's a disease, a sickness, right? And there's people also my dad told me I couldn't do anything. I'll tell you this, I came to terms with this many years ago and I don't do this anymore because I don't need it. But there was times in my life, probably about 10 years ago, that I was like, I needed advice on this. And I would call my dad and whatever he would say, I would do the opposite. And it always works out because everything he told me to do, I never worked out. Seriously. Now I had on the other shoulder my mom. My mom, you can do anything you want. Go play. I mean, she comes in my studio like probably a year or two ago. She goes, I'm certainly glad I told you you can do anything you want. You know, I love it. She's amazing, you know, and that is important. So I listen, I have the barometer, so I got great clarity. I got both those voices. And obviously I lean into my mom, but I don't pay attention to this. There's always these people that are always going to drag you down, that are going to look into you and tell you you can't do it that way, you can't do that, you can't say that, you can't become that, because they don't have permission within themselves. People who don't understand what you're doing will always drag you down because it makes them fearful. It makes them worthless. It makes them smaller, which is not reality, but that's what they're feeling. So yeah, there's always people going to tell you not to do that and don't do it that way. And a lot of people want to tell you not to do it that way, so you hire them to fix it, which is also lies. But I'm here to tell you, I lived a dream on top of a dream on top of a dream, and I have every reason, every excuse to fail, and I don't.
Well,
why? Because I wake up at 8 o'clock every single morning. 8 o'clock. I wake up at like, I don't tell people I get up at 3 because they think that's obnoxious, but I do. I was up at 3 o'clock this morning. I get up way early in the morning every single day on fire because it's my world that I am playing in. And you know what's really cool? And this is how you build a world dominating brand. Find that play and then surround yourself with a team and play with them. I play with my team. I am not the boss. They are my team. They are not my employees. They are my team, and they make more decisions in my business than I do. And you know what I get for that? I show up at meetings and I go out, go away, go make some music. We don't need you today. That's what I get because we're playing. That's what I built. That's how you build a world dominating brand, and it's the greatest thing. It takes a lot of time. It takes some serious work. And I like to say serious play because I don't work. There's days I might feel like, man, I really worked today. And it surprised me. I'm like, wow, that really felt like work. Majority of the time, nah, it's just play. And when you realize that's what a business is, it's your playground, it's your game, and you get to change the rules, and you get to make the rules. Now, obviously, it's got to be reciprocal to change the lives you want to. You got a world dominant brand on your hands. Anybody can do that. You just need permission, and I'm giving you permission to do it. You can, you should.
Well, you were lucky because you had both angels on your shoulders, right? And one said no, the other said yes. For too many people, I think, they only end up with the one who says, be careful, it's a dangerous world. You can't do that without some help. And that is when people get in trouble because then they don't learn to trust themselves. And that, I think, is the biggest problem that many people have, where they don't trust themselves and they fear trusting themselves because they haven't been given that vote of confidence when they were younger.
Well, I will tell you that if that's a world, ladies and gentlemen, I know the camera's here. I work on a big monitor. I can't even touch my monitor. It's so big. You know, and I know you're right there. But I would tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, if that is you, please come play with me and Mary. Hang out with me and Mary. We hang out every week, multiple times throughout the month, which even beyond that, which is awesome. And let us surround you with people who actually will give you permission to be what you're supposed to be. Because there are always these voices telling you that. And some of them are people we live with. Some of them we're attached to. Some people we surround ourselves. Some we've elected to. See, Mary, a lot of people, to make themselves better, they pick things and people and onto things around them to justify their whatever in their life that's not good. And that feeds that non-permission. I will also tell you another die making there, and this is where I tell you, I really hate gurus that know how to take money but not make money. They will just suck. They see that and they prey on you, you know. And then you look around, and you go, man, this all sucks. You know, one of the rules that I have is I don't listen to those who are less successful than me, and that's not arrogant. It's the truth. And I can tell you, so many people who hear opinions from others. Greg Reed, wonderful, love Greg Reed, and this is something he says is, There's counsel and there's opinion. And a lot of people confuse that. They're taking advice from people who are less successful than them or aren't at the level of success that they want to go. And they're letting those opinions become counsel, meaning infecting their decision. And those are just opinions. Opinions don't matter to me. I have people I listen to for relationships, to finances, to business, to sales. I mean, I have, a lot of people I listen to. I don't listen to a single person about it all. Right? That person doesn't exist except Christ. There you go. You got him. But beyond that, I don't. And I think a lot of people lean into, here's this one person I listen to everything to, and it goes bad. And then other people feel more comfortable when you fail. So I'm here to tell you, you don't have to fail. You have a choice. It's up to you.
Well, and it's up to you to choose where and how you want to win. And, that's really where the joy starts. And yet it's sometimes hard because of all the noise around us, right? We don't live in a world where everybody's there for us. And so there's a lot of noise, and it gets noisier all the time. I mean, you're lucky. You go live in a space, make your own noise. But for a lot of us, we don't live in those spaces.
Some people tell me I am the noise.
I'm sure.
Well, I don't know. So I'm not sure what you mean. I know that there's, I feel my business has been virtual since 2009, 100% virtual. Before that, I was hybrid, brick and mortar and virtual, because I was very early adapter to technology, and I'm very driven. So I fought the internet to get me what I wanted, right? And working with people virtually. So I made that process work very well for me. I don't know. It's weird. I gotta honest. I know not everybody can afford a separate building. I'm not against that, but everybody can change their life around to have a room or corner, right? Anybody can do that if that's what you want. I say this, and you see some of my stuff. This is my sword. This is my sword. This is my shield. And with these two things, I can do anything I want, right? And this is my battlefield. This is where I play all day long. Everybody has a keyboard and mouse. Everybody has a monitor. And when I look at people that don't have a designated space to honor their own work, that's a problem. And I'll be honest. I tell people this all the time. Value yourself first. If you want, because everybody's like, please value me, please value me. Well, value yourself first. Create a space so you can thrive. Create an atmosphere that you are thrilled to go every day. No, seriously, this is real stuff. You see this. This is pretty to you. But this is where I work and play every day. Yeah, I'm going to have these cool lights. Yeah, I'm going to have my piano. Yeah, I'm going to have my candles. Yeah, I got the projections going on, lighting up my angels and stuff. That's important to me. My blue curtain. I love my blue curtain. These things make my energy unstoppable. And a lot of many people respect themselves and their own craft to even treat their area worth the dignity that they want. So it starts with you. And then when I say that, when you hire people, this is all I do to my team. I make it work for them to come in. I got a new hire right now going on, right? Well, we hired a couple of people, but a new hire that's been with us actually a couple of months. So it's time to do a check-in. How's it going? He said, this is the only place I've ever worked with that I did not get the Mondays. I'm actually excited coming in. I love Mondays. Mondays are a world of opportunity. I can't wait. And I teach that with my team. So again, I want them to work with my brand. I want them to be a part of my world dominating brand. So you know what I do? I let them feel the power of that. I champion them all the time. I preach more to my team than I do my clients, because we're doing entrepreneurial life together. So build a world that you want to play in, build your own playground, and empower others to play with you and pour into them just as much as they're pouring into you. That's how you do it. It's reciprocal. Now, some people call them your employees. Sure. I call them teammates.
Well, I think there's a lot of power in teammates. And I think if more people thought of their employees as teammates, there probably would be a lot more successful businesses. because I think employees can feel that separation, like there's them and there's me. And, they have it all and I don't have it all is a common theme for the employee situation. Whereas employees can be incredible parts of your success if you let them. So, I mean, I think there you're definitely doing it right. And
Yeah, I
maybe you
have.
should write another formula for how to have,
I got to
a
tell you,
successful team.
I have someone who's a very high performer, that very, very brilliant high performer, and who just started. It's been 2.5 weeks, and the feedback was, I've never been in a place that I've had this much respect and this much freedom. You know, I don't like, for instance, everybody gets to make their own job titles up in my business. There's no real job titles. We have Render who does video. I'm just thinking of some. We have, my salesperson is brand ambassador. My social media person's brand champion. That's their job title. They're brand champion. Isn't that better than social media crap, right? If you really look like this, you can really build a language, not weird language. I'm not talking about acronyms and all that. I'm talking about a community and a culture, a brand culture, where the language of what you even title their jobs and their emails make them powerful. And people don't look at this. And it starts with little stuff like that, and then living through it, having those conversations. You asked me how my day went. It's a very long day because I'm playing with you, which is cool. But I actually had a lot I had to do today, right? And a lot of it though was, while it wasn't there, I had, a couple hours today that I didn't have anything booked. And so I spent it with the team, just talking about them, how, there is no ceiling here. I don't put a ceiling on people. That's not fair. No one likes that. If you give them the rules of where they can play, where they can go, and they're in charge, it's a world dominating brand right there. And there's I don't know. I don't know why people do it opposite, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I think it's out of fear.
I think it's out of fear.
Yeah, it's out of fear, and I don't want to tell you my secret stuff because you might take it. You might become my competition one day. It might be because I mean, there's a lot of horribly abusive, and I've had these as clients in the past, abusive people. I mean, they're just bullies, and it's just like it's horrible. So I see it. Those people need therapy and a hug.
Start with the therapy, because if you try to hug them first, it could be dangerous to your health.
Yeah. Listen, I can tell I have great freedom. I mean, for years, 4-day weekends normal. 3-day week is normal. 3 to 4 days. 4 days happen quite often. And it's because we all know what we need to do. Everybody's empowered to do so. I check in. We have check and balances, and we have real conversations. And I just pour into my team. That's my role, and has been. It took me a while to figure that out, I think. In the very beginning, I saw them as employees, but I wanted that culture, and I built that culture. But and I was never a bully. But it took me a while to realize that I don't need to do anything. I've replaced myself in almost every single aspect of my business, my main business, which is beautiful. And they're working to get me out of that, which is cool.
Well, and what's great about it is that it gives you freedom to play more, because now you can try other things. You can reach out. You can go further.
It is. And one of the things that I do is, Future Fridays is something the whole company does now. And we have, but I mean, we get caught in our own projects, right? So we kind of cheat those things, but we recommitted Future Fridays, which is generally my time. And those are times where we work on the future. And then we do the normal day of work during the week, and then we work on the future. And I started that very many years ago. And I can tell you all my most profitable, greatest ideas, brands, products, and services came out of my Fridays. And that Future Friday, I work on my future and something new and innovative and where I want to go next. And then when I like it enough and it's crystallized enough, I make that part of my normal production. So it does become the other stuff. Yeah.
Well, sadly, time goes by. Can you believe it? We've talked for nearly half an hour.
Well, let me
And
ask
I
this.
mean,
Did you
it
have a
just
question
seems
for
like
me?
it was just joyful. And my only question is, how
Yeah.
can people get hold of you? Because obviously, people may want to know, how can
All
I
right.
get Ruke and his brand to work with me?
So I'm going to prove to you how real I am. Ready? I own my name. So my email is ruke@ruke.com. It is my personal email. My email sits at 0. When it's on, it's always at 0, and I personally answer it. So if you want to get a hold of me, anybody who has a question about if you like any of the cool things I said, if you want to come play with me and Mary, if you need to be in an atmosphere of those who will champion you as well, if you really want to make money with your dreams, hit me up at ruke@ruke.com. I'll let you hang out with me and Mary in my business club for a couple sessions. It'll be fun, and I'll help you out. There you go. It's the best I can do.
And you can see Ruke is spelled here, Ruke, so it doesn't get any easier than that. Well,
Ruke at R. I know it's confusing. I'm gonna say it again though. That's why I said I own my own name, because people are like, what? Then where's the .com? It's ruke@ruke.com. ruke@ruke.com. It's so simple.
There you go. Ruke@ruke.com.
Yeah.
You can't really get messed up there too much. You could have had Ruke@ruke.ruke.
Not out there yet.
Anyway, it's been a great time, and I want to thank you so much. And hopefully our listeners will all have something to take away. At least go out there and live your dreams.
Amen.